Hi, my name's David. Today I'm going to show you how to clean the heat exchanger on your Bosch dryer. The manual tells you to clean it about once a month. Depends how frequently you use it. I found that for ours we need to clean it about once every 45 days. So as I said, it depends how frequently you use it. So it's a very simple job, takes about 5 to 10 minutes max, and it's important for keeping your dryer working efficiently. This is the manual for the Bosch dryer, and on page 29, page 29, cleaning the heat exchanger. They tell you how to do it, this page and the following page. It's very simple, and we'll get started here. Okay, here's the Bosch dryer, and the first thing you do is you open this door down here. You lift this up or push it down, I can't remember which it is, push down, and then you open this, and then we're going to undo these two things, and then we're going to pull this out. I'm going to set a rag down here because usually some water comes out, and that rag will keep the water off of your floor. Okay, so I placed a rag here, and once you've loosened these two clamps, you will pull this out. For putting it back in, remember it's the handle. You reach up, so you want to be sure and put it back in the same way. So there'll be a little bit of water here. It's handy to have a rag. And then I'm going to take this over to the sink and we're going to rinse it out. What it looks like when it's out, you'll see some lint and hair back here. You just rinse it out. It just takes a minute. This is the first of the two things you're cleaning. So I'm going to turn the water on here and rinse this out. Okay, after you've rinsed it off, just set it aside. And I'll show you how to remove the second part, and we'll get going on that second part. Before you pull the second part out, take a rag and mop up. There's some water in here, and that'll minimize any spillage. And you might need a second rag depending on how wet this first rag is. So just mop that down before you pull it out. So then you'll reach in here and you'll grab this handle, and again for putting it back together, remember the handle is down at the bottom, not the top, and you just slide this out. I'm going to set this phone down here so that I can have two hands and catch any water that spills. Okay, this is the second part, and you can see there's lint in there, so just run water through it, and there's usually not much of anything on the sides. There's a little bit back here, so run water through both directions, front and back, and get all that lint out of here. This is the last step here as far as cleaning the heat exchanger. Okay, that cleans out real quickly, real easily. Make sure, run with your finger, make sure there's no lint or anything on these gaskets. There's a gasket on the front and a gasket back here at the back. Just make sure that those are clean, if there's no crud on those. And again, you just run tap water through it and it just cleans it out real quickly. You'll have some lint in your sink, but that's all there is to it. And then we're going to walk these back to the dryer and install them so that you don't drip on the floor. You might want to dry them off a little bit before you walk back to the dryer. Okay, step one for reassembling this is you just put in this part here, again the handle down the bottom, just gently slide it in. So all you have to do, it doesn't click or anything, just gently push it back in, and then we'll go get the second part. This part also has a rubber gasket, but it's a white rubber instead of black. Again, make sure that that's clean, if there isn't any lint or crud on it before you put it back. Okay, you just put this in like this, and then flip these levers down to lock it in place. This one actually goes up, and that's all there is to it. If there's any moisture here, dry it off, and then close this door. And then there's one more step. Inside, right inside here, you'll feel two ridges. They're the moisture sensors, and we're going to take a rag with some white vinegar and wipe those off. That's important so that these keep working properly, sensing the moisture. The manual tells you to use white vinegar. So we're going to put a little bit of white vinegar in this rag and wipe those sensors. Okay, just dampen the rag, and then we're going to wipe those sensors down with the rag. Okay, we're just going to wipe those sensors down, rubbing this back and forth a few times, and it'll keep those working properly. And that is it. You are now done cleaning the heat exchanger on your Bosch dryer, and you won't have to do this for another, depending on how often you use it, once a month or less frequently if you don't use it as much. Like I said, for us it works out to be about every 45 days. It's not very dirty. It makes cleaning it that much simpler. The longer you wait, the longer your intervals, of course, it's going to be dirtier, it's going to be harder to clean. Okay, you're all done, and really easy to do. As you can see, it takes 5 to 10 minutes and keeps your dryer working efficiently. So have fun. Goodbye.